we don't each play a part, then there's a piece missing to this long journey that, you know, that you have a great opportunity to contribute your skills, your thoughts, your service, you know, to this whole process that is historical.
It's a fact that'll mask the union of men. When will it be? See how desperately we need unity, but who am I to unify nations and peoples, domes and the steeples? We can be equal, if only we care. So I put my hands in the air, cause this is my air, this is my prayer, this is what I breathe in, this is what I believe. I wanna guide the wayward, lead the hapless, awaken the heedless, and free the captives. My air, this is my prayer, this is what I breathe in, this is what I believe. I wanna guide the wayward, lead the hapless, awaken the heedless, and free the captives. Yeah.
Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. I am a broken winged bird, and my flight is very slow. Remove the veils from my eyes, so I can see the way, and fly home
to thy abode, where I will behold the source of the light that you shine when it's cold. But how will I know when it is time? And how do I grow if the sun don't shine? But when Baha'u'llah's words are spoken, I forget about my wings that are broken, and I can fly into the sky.
Well, Nabi is a central locality for a lot of the Baha'is all over Navajo land and even further. We invite resources to share their stories, and it's a place to come and just share and learn, and come to see where local, you know, the local people are taking ownership of their faith, of the Baha'i faith. And you can see that in our local feasts. We have 19-day feasts. You can see the ownership in children's classes and junior youth programs, and the Ruhi Institute, where adults and elders are really on fire at the Native American Baha'i Institute. It's a place to come and study, to come and get their water, to come and have a free meal on Thursday nights, and socialize with the community. And through that social action that we're engaged in, we come to realize that Baha'i or non-Baha'i, everyone is welcome at the Baha'i Institute, and together we're advancing on a path together, on equal footing, where, you know, however humble your origins are, you're able to contribute to this one process of spiritual education. So people who come to Nabi are aware of the contribution and an informed participation that requires people to just share themselves, share a story, share through service. And it's even just the little acts of service, like getting an elder their coffee, or an elder even serving you. So the Native American Baha'i Institute, it's a place to come and regain that human connection where it's lost so often on the reservation. And so people come there to love each other. So I thought it would be really neat to invite these other tribes to come and share their story and where they're at in this 5-year plan, in this divine plan. And I thought it would be really inspiring for those natives who have arisen, you know, for children's class teachers or animators, to have them see other people, other natives from another part of the country, share that same path and same journeys, share the same challenges, and share the same successes, and realize that we're not just the only native Baha'is on a reservation that are struggling to uplift the entire community. So that was my real reason for inviting everybody, for this like mutual support and an enriching story, enriching feeling, and so we can have one reality together for 4 days and be able, like I said, to share. The Junior Spiritual Empowerment Program gives the junior youth and the animators, actually, the animators help guide and facilitate the junior youth to identify the forces in their world, and how through spiritual means combat that and give back to the common good through community service. And they themselves identify service projects that no one else is doing, or a service that no one else is providing in the community. And along the way, we're sharing what the program is about. And it's the spiritual and moral upliftment of the ages 11, 12, 13, and 14-year-olds. I feel like Native Americans have this innate spirituality already. It's kind of in this transition where it's being lost. The language and the teachings aren't being shared. So this is a great interception in any culture, in any indigenous culture, because it really reinforces the culture itself, the language, the stories, and it's a great way to identify the kids, who their identity is and who their true identity is as noble beings, as Native people. And through our service projects along the way, we're always enlisting resources to share stories. So if we come across our elders, it's a great way to, share us a story when you were a kid about the land and the area and where you grew up. Along our way in our service, we identify other resources, healthcare, teachers, educators, and so we're calling upon, our community to share with us knowledge and how these people, in their professions and in their endeavors are able to give back to their community. So it's a great experience for the kids to look up and outward at different professions. And it gives them a chance to look at their future careers and begin to identify their skills and their talents at this age through artistic art activities and music and dance and drama. The world definitely sees the junior youth as problematic. Problems that are just waiting to be dealt with or that are waiting to explode. So the Baha'i Faith and the Spiritual Empowerment Program are really seeing this special age that has special needs and is a special time in their life where they're so curious about the world and the universe. And every little thing is a questing adventure, there's secrets hidden in everything. So the junior youth are at this age where they want to know it all, but they need to be guided because the materialism in the world and the commercialism is so bad that at this age they want to go with what's popular, with what's cool, and what a group of peers are going with. So that's what the Junior Empowerment Program provides, is a mutual peer support where there's no censure or ridicule, that the kids can really come and be in a safe environment and provide, like I said, service projects. They come together and exercise their artistic skills. We come together and it's a 3-year program, so we have a curriculum that is a spiritual literacy and how these kids get the moral and spiritual tools to combat these forces in society that intend to rob them of their true identity as noble beings. So we use our spirituality, and it's a consciousness that we don't hurt or harm anything. And once things are taken from the people, it's really hard to regain. But in that darkness, which is just the absence of light, in that darkness, like this fire, the brightest ones really shine, and that's the Native people. Once spiritually educated and reinvigorated with their own spirit, along with the Baha'i teachings, the people will just shine. And in this darkness of a world where there's chaos and war and strife, and the people have estrangement, strangers don't look at each other in the eye, and if you're at a grocery store checking out, there's just an impoliteness or not even a hospitality anymore. So the Baha'is all over the world and indigenous Baha'is are treading a new path that's going to illumine the whole world.
Man, you make me want to just rise up!
Yeah.
From a Native American perspective, if I were a parent, what would you tell me as to why my child should come to this program?
Well, let me think back on some of my home visits that are very real. So actually, okay, I introduced myself in a home visit, and the kids are there, and my co-animator is there who's going to be taking over the group, and they're asking your question. What is the Spiritual Empowerment Program? So we talk about the moral decay of the world, and we ask the parents, we're in a partnership, right? So tell me what your aspirations for your children are, or your child. And so the parents share a little bit about perhaps bullying or drugs, or those seem to be the two prevalent challenges in a middle school right now. So we tell them through this program, the kids are, like I was sharing, offer mutual support of each other, where it's free of censure and ridicule. And so the parents right away are like, wow, you know, I've never heard my child speak up about the concerns in our neighborhood, the concerns, you know, in and around our home. So the parents right away know that this is a group where the kids can voice freely and openly without having that paternalistic looking down on them and shaking their head like, you can't say that right now. Or just, you know, children are free to say what they please. But also, what I like to share with parents is that the materials and the curriculum that the children go through is a spiritual literacy. So they're acquiring spirituality, training their spiritual eyes to read what's in these stories. The first concept in our junior youth book is confirmation, breezes of confirmation. And in this story, they follow Musunda and Rose, who are really good cousins and best friends. And they make an effort throughout this story, and doors begin to open, and they're slowly, with their spiritual and inner eye, are identifying the confirmation blessings that they're on the right path. In the story, they're also looking towards nature for confirmation. So a lot of the junior youth groups around the world do a lot of nature hikes, and a lot of they identify with nature, and that's the spirit. If you're sitting and observing a tree or the wind or a flower or a bird, you begin to identify yourself with that one spirit. The world and humans and animals are part of one living organism, one giant organism that needs to respect each other. Parents also like that the children get literacy skills, comprehension. They increase their vocabulary from the program. And we also share that the kids out of the 3-year program will be better to think with clarity, be able to say what they mean, and that empowers junior youth. Because there's so often when junior youth are disempowered because they lack the vocabulary to express what they mean. So we give them the power. Well, we don't give them anything. Through the program, they themselves make the effort. And when they make a hard enough effort, they come out of the program with the power of expression. And what we're doing is we're creating leaders in the community, spiritual leaders. There's a quote by the Universal House of Justice that says, spiritual battles will be won in school hallways, playgrounds, places of recreation, you know, on street corners. And that's where the young people are today. And that's where the spiritual battles are going to be won. So how are we preparing this 11 through 14-year-old generation to combat those negative forces and to be able to arise to be the leaders?
And I was in Arizona at a Book 5 youth camp or youth training, and it was pretty fun there. You meet like different people you don't know.
What I got out of Navi studying Book 5 were different quotes about your higher and lower nature, and that you should always pick your higher nature.
What I got out of this experience from Arizona was that it's not all about fun and games when you're doing work.
Yeah! Navi! Woo! Book 5, yeah!